Tremendous actor, great Yankee fan, Nick Turturro joins us now. Good afternoon, Nick. How are you?
I'm okay, Mark. I'm okay. I
I don't
watched the
believe
In
you.
Heights yesterday after the Yankee debacle, so that cheered up my spirits. I needed some inspiration because this team is killing my soul. It's just killing me. We all were saying it just not because they're losing, it's just how they're losing. And they're brutal to watch, just brutal.
I know, Nick.
I
We're
don't
saying
know.
you are supremely talented, award-winning actor. You are also supremely ticked off with how the team is playing. And we were just chatting a little bit before you came on. And you're like, the team, it's not even like I want to like these guys more than I do, right? Like that to me, from the Yankee fan perspective, is fascinating because you guys love 17. Yankee fans love 17. It's one of your favorite years, right? Because there weren't a lot of expectations on the Yankees that year, and the team was fantastic. How has it gone, Nick, from a team in 17 with a lot of the core guys here, the Judge, the Sanchez, all that, to now, like, this is not even a team that you would even consider one of your favorite teams?
Yeah, but I think from 17 on, they made all the wrong moves. You're right. They were going in the right direction. They were really likable. They were one game from going to the World Series, and they made a lot of bad moves. They had chemistry, and that's what you need on a team. You need chemistry. You need balance. Guys like Didi that fit. I don't care. You know, he was a good fit on this team. And then nothing against Stanton, but he was the wrong fit. You know, and Jeter gave it to us. You know, he stuck it to us with this guy because he's not a bad player. He's a talented guy when he's going good, but he wasn't right for this team. And now we're stuck with the contract. You know, this is not an easy fix either. You look at this team, they got a problem at shortstop. They got a problem at center field. They got a problem at catcher. They got pitching that they try to chintz and bring in a guy like Kluber who broke down. I mean, they got a lot of problems. And their chemistry, like I say, we went in the wrong direction. We were going in the right way, and we've been getting continuously bad. 18, 19. Last year, forget about it. That was whatever that was. But you could see that we're not getting better. And just because they signed Cole, that doesn't mean anything. You got to have a good core. They got a whole right-handed team. In a rinky-dink ballpark where a lefty fly ball is a home run.
No, you're not wrong.
I mean, it's a home run. Give me a break. You don't got no left-handed bats? I mean, the guy we needed was Yelich. He would have fit good on this team. You know, so, minor league system, where are they? Where are they? I mean, I don't know where you go. I don't know. It's like you say, they're not a good team. They're a dumb team. I mean, I've never seen such stupidity on the base paths. Come on, man.
Well, Nick, let me ask you, how much of that do you put on the manager? How much do you blame Boone?
I mean, to a certain degree, I got to blame him somewhat. I can't blame the whole thing on Boone. I mean, he's a nice guy, like you said. But at some point, you got to take the guy aside and go, what's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Less than 2 outs, okay? And I would threaten these guys to bunt when they're in extra innings. I don't care. Bunt the ball. Do whatever you got to do to manufacture a run. They strike out left and right. They're a double play machine waiting to happen. I mean, I could go down the line. And it's like you got to start having accountability. That's where, maybe Boone is not that. I don't know the relationship.
Right.
But somebody on the team, I mean, I know Judge is supposed to be the leader of the team, so somebody get in their faces. Somebody. I mean, it's sad. And it's like looking at me, man, do I want to watch this team? I keep hoping and thinking, will they turn it around? Will they turn it around? And it just doesn't happen. I don't think it's going to happen unless by miracle, he's like, I know the guys in that clubhouse. They care. I know. They care. I care a little more. Because I'm not getting paid for this. I'm not getting paid.
No, it sounds like it's costing you in terms of like agita and, gray hair.
I'm drained to the guild.
I hear you.
I left for a few days. They won 2 out of 3. I said, all right. Then the game, they finally come back the other day. They had the game, basically. They could have won this game, the 7th. The LeMahieu finally showed up. That's a big thing, too. Like LeMahieu, he's not been hitting this year. And he's the one guy that I go, you need him to hit. Mm-hmm. You need DJ LeMahieu, because if he don't hit, forget it. The rest of them, it's a joke. No, but he's a good baseball player. He's not the problem to me. I mean, you got to build around maybe. You got a couple of pieces on this team. It's a mess.
Yeah. I mean, but here's the thing about LeMahieu, right? I agree with you. Great baseball player, LeMahieu. He fills a lot of roles for you defensively. He's super reliable. This is somebody who was like top 5 in MVP voting. You could say 2020 was Fugazi, but I mean, even the year before that, I mean, he was huge for them, and he was the one guy you wanted up with runners on. I agree with you about it's kind of interesting, Nick, and Nick Turturro is our guest because he's upset about the Yankees, as most Yankee fans are. Is Boone keeps saying, like, this is going to be a real test for our character, and it's going to really reveal who we are. It's like, well, what was the first 2.5 months? What more are we going to learn about this team, in the next couple weeks? Like, that's what I don't know where the rallying cry is going to come from.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what is the turning point. What is going to, turn this team into a good baseball team, a watchable baseball team versus, and I know some of these people on Twitter are like, watch the D-backs, watch the, I don't care about those people. I know they're a disaster. The Orioles are a disaster. I know, but we got a big payroll. This is the Yankees. We've won one token championship, a token one, 2009. I mean, come on. We haven't done squat. We haven't done nothing. We're getting embarrassed by organizations that continuously put out better teams, better brand. Look at the Oakland A's, year in, year out. They're good.
Yeah.
They're good. The Rays, these guys play with grit. They're easy to root for. The Mets are playing better. The Mets. I'm not a Met fan, but I mean, they're playing better.
Right, and they're doing it all backups. I mean, they have guys on IL all over the place, and those guys are stepping in, performing. Here's the other thing that bothers me, Nick, and I know they have got nowhere else to go. I can't take Jameson Taillon in the rotation anymore. I mean, enough's enough with Jameson Taillon. Patience. I can't watch another Taillon start who's a 5-inning pitcher at best. I can't take it anymore.
They try to sell us on these retread guys. They try to sell us on these guys. Oh, he's got potential. Jameson Taillon. Guy stinks. I mean, I remember the 1980s. Joe Cowley, Ed Whitson.
Yes.
He's in that pack. He's in that pack of guys. He's not good. They took a shot on Kluber, who is actually good. But, it backfired because the guy's, he's got injury problems. So, and then you're hoping and praying Haman is going to be – he hasn't been that consistent yet this year, But, I mean, they got one pitcher you can – Montgomery is in and out. They got a bullpen that's pretty good when it's used right. Mm-hmm. Chapman, he's had that one bad night. But, I mean, you got to use him right too. You got to use him right. He can't come in a tie game. He's a disaster in a tie game. So he got Britton back, but I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see the grit. I don't see that this is going to change. They may not make the playoffs. They may not. I mean, the reality is they don't look like a playoff team. And even if they did get there, what are they going to do? Well, what are they going to do? I mean, now Severino looks like he broke his leg or something. I don't know. What's next?
He's limping off the field in Brooklyn, and that was a horrible thing to see because, Severino, who's not rooting for Luis Severino, right? How do you not root for that guy to come back and be,
I don't know.
The follow-up to Cole or the 1A to Cole? I mean, Nick Turturro is our guest. So, Nick, what I said today was I think that the big sin for the Yankees would be to do nothing. You can't do nothing. You have 25 games to go to figure out what's going to go on with this team. Either you're going to add to it in a really meaningful kind of way, or you're going to 2016 this thing and you're going to try to pair off some of your players that you can actually get a return for, and you try to make this team look different in that way. What do you think?
I think that's a good move. I think you got to look at the pieces that you have going forward, like LeMahieu, maybe Urshela, a couple of players that are baseball players.
Judge.
And then look at who you can get rid of and maybe bring in some guys that for the future are going to be for next year and the year after. Because if they make the right moves, maybe they could turn this thing around, but maybe not this year. So they got to make some moves. They got to do something because this is a joke. They got some problems with the contracts. I don't know what they're going to do. They might have to dump something and just take it and have to pay for it because it's not working. And maybe bring up somebody from the minors that, they've been talking about these guys and you never see them. Florio came up. I don't know what happened. They sent him back. Why? You need a center fielder. Keep him up. What do you got to lose? Frazier's a bust. I'm tired of waiting for Frazier. Put him in a package, dump him, whatever. Send him on a bus. I don't care. Andujar, he's actually hitting the ball. He's not the greatest left fielder in the world, but he looks like a major league hitter. You got to look at a couple of pieces you got, and then you got to go in the right direction. You're going to have to maybe get a shortstop, put Glaber back to second, and put LeMahieu at first. I mean, Luke Voigt isn't the answer. You got to get the defense better, and Judge has got to play. Enough of this. If he, we're going to baby him, he's got to be in right field. It's bad enough we got Gardner in center. Gardner now he's got no arm. I love Gardy, but he's got no arm.
No arm.
So they're going to have to make, Maggie's right, they got to make some moves. Do like what you did in 16. This year, be realistic. Does this look like a team that could go all the way? No. So be realistic, be smart, and make some moves to make this team better for next year. Because you can't fool us. You can't fool us. We're not buying it.
Well, Nick, you hear it as well. I mean, Maggie and I, we get it on a day-in, day-out basis. There are Yankee fans that look at Brian Cashman, and the trust is not there like it once was. Do you trust Cashman to be the guy to make those moves, to retool here on the fly, and have a better team here moving forward?
I don't know. I don't know if I do anymore. To be honest, I don't know. I mean, I know in the old days when the old man was alive, he would have been gone. He would have been toast a long time ago. But maybe it's time for a new voice. Maybe it's time for some fresh blood over here because we're like a bunch of vampires. You know what I mean? We're like, I'm telling you, it's like bloodless. There's no soul. Come on.
There's no spark with this team. I mean, it's a lot of dispassionate play when you're watching it.
Oh, yeah, you watch it and you're just like, you could see with your eyes. I mean, there's nothing there that you go, oh, my God. Show me something. Somebody go insane. Somebody go crazy. I mean, something has to to light a fire in these guys. But it's like, I think it's probably time. It's time. Maybe Hal needs to, get involved or whatever and say, hey, enough is enough. Enough is enough. You had a long run. Nobody gets a run forever. Nobody.
Right.
It's time.
Here's the thing. I can't help but think there is a universe where we now flash forward and it's like the three of us at like the Yankees championship parade, doing commentating like, hey, remember on June 14th when we left this team for dead and look at how they turned it around. Like, I hope that that's the case. I hope we can point back to this and say how wrong we were. Nick, just really quickly, like, have you ever had on a set when like things are going bad or on like TV show, movie, just like the chemistry's not good, the vibe's bad, and like a director or somebody had to get everyone together and like gave an actual pep talk and it actually worked? Is there any correlation between sports and Hollywood in that way?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. That's a great question because you could have a lot of stars in a movie. You could have 4 or 5 and they're a dud together. Mm-hmm. They have no chemistry. You could tell it, you could see it, you could feel it. And sometimes, you could have a bunch of people and it's magic. Just magic. The director's right. The feeling's right. The chemistry's right. Even sometimes people that hate each other, but together, they're great. Like, David Caruso, Dennis Franz, they didn't even like each other. It didn't matter. Together, they were magical. But sometimes they like each other, and then it adds to the screen. That happens. I mean? Like, I was doing like Blue Bloods and I was working with this kid and we liked each other, right. Will Estes. And it came through too. We had that simpatico. We worked together. Nobody was trying to top each other. It wasn't like I was trying to outdo you. You were trying to outdo me. You give me the ball, I give you the ball back.
Yeah.
That's what good acting is about. You watch great acting and there's a generosity. The one person is working off the other person. You see De Niro and Pesci together. They just have that kind of chemistry. You put, what was it, that movie, Johnny Depp and Angelina? It was a dud. They just didn't have it. So you see it. Sometimes it happens and sometimes it don't. It's like a relationship. You go in for the kiss. Ooh, the chemistry is there. The chemistry is not here. We made out. I didn't feel anything.
No spark. Wait, Nick, not that I'm asking
No
you to
butterflies, nothing.
Yeah, right. Not that I'm no goosebumps.
Nothing.
Not that I'm asking you to spill the tea, but is there a show or movie where you know that the two actors didn't get along, but the movie was great? Besides Caruso and Friends, like, is there a one that maybe the public doesn't realize, guys, ladies, whatever, did not get along, but you know what? On screen, magic.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's out there. I don't know if I could say that, but it's out there. You know, I don't want to make enemies. Probably have some anyway. But
no, not you.
But there are people that they hate each other and you know they were great together. I heard the Jerky Boys, those guys, they couldn't stand each other.
Is that right?
That's what I heard. I heard they couldn't stand, but they were good together. I mean, you know, there's a lot of those stories. Not everybody's gonna like each other. It's just that's the way it is. I mean, sometimes there's a lot of correlation between, you're right, Hollywood movies and teams, because you see that camaraderie, you see that kind of chemistry, and that's important. That's important, man. And you know, you don't know. Sometimes the tension works, sometimes it don't, and sometimes you go, oh, this is a disaster. I don't like this guy. You know, I don't like. I mean, I was doing a miniseries years ago, and the guy was from Ireland. And he was like, you know, with a potato accent. He was like, it was a New York Sammy the Bull thing. And he was like, what I think Sammy is. I was like, you wouldn't know anything. You're from Ireland. You don't know anything about New York people. You know, you yells cut in the middle of a scene. You got something going good. And you're like, why did you cut? Why did you stop the action? Just trust it. Trust what you got. You know, I just like to see the Yankees get mad, take their shirts off, just go, you know what? We're going to try to win a game. We're going to try to play the game the right way. Clean. No stupid mistakes. Can you do it one game and maybe then build on it? I don't know.
Well, but, you know what, Nick, they need to do is show one of your epic rants on social after a game when you're ripping off your shirt, you're going shirtless. I think Boone needs to show that for this Yankee team.
Listen, I'm all love, man. I'm all about love. It may come out as, you know, angry or hateful, but it's not. I just want them to do good. I'm rooting for them. Yeah. But, you know, they're letting me down. You got to give people tough love sometimes. I go in that locker room and rip them from head to toe, you know, but by the end of it, I guarantee you I would get something out of it. I feel it. I don't know. I just have that craziness that I feel like if I went in there, I could do something.
We love
get you in there.
I still can't believe David Caruso left NYPD Blue.
He was brilliant.
He was great brilliant on that show.
And you know, and if for whatever reason he alienated himself from a lot of people. He liked me and I liked him, and we had sort of I don't know, maybe because we're both from Queens or something. And he was great with that red hair, and he was so good. And then he was also, you know, he used to drive himself insane. And he was, you know, when you have a character that great, you don't quit or walk away after 1 year. You know, those are kind of roles that come around, you know, once, like Tony Soprano's, like one of the greatest, you know, actors on television ever. Gandalf, you know, he did Tony Soprano for freaking 5 years, 6 years. You don't just walk away from that because it doesn't come around. I mean, he was lucky. He got to do that other thing where he took his glasses on and off, but that was like a cartoon, you know, and he got rich doing that thing. CSI, not looking at anybody. He didn't make eye contact with other actors.
Nick, there's nothing like a dramatic ripping of the glasses off. You know,
the thing with David was he's a minimalist, and he wanted to be like Steve McQueen. But there's only one Steve McQueen.
Yes.
You know, there's only one Steve McQueen. And as cool as Caruso is, he's not as cool as Steve McQueen. It's just like sometimes you got to watch it. I was watching Paul Newman the other day on the plane. I'm like, look how cool this guy, Cool Hand Luke, the name of the movie, but so cool and so good and handsome as a devil. And I'm like, wow, that man was handsome, you know? And I'm just saying, Jesus Christ, man. That. What could I tell you? You know, I could go on and on and on and on.
It's like the Yankees looking at the Rays right now.
Yeah, right. That's Hal looking at the Rays, 8.5 up. He's just staring at them.
God, they're 8.5
They're
now.
Handsome.
Oh, 8.5, huh?
8.5.
Oh my God. And now we're going to Buffalo against a team that's got a lineup that's a killer lineup. That is a hell of a lineup.
That is.
at Jay's lineup. Wow. I mean, doesn't look like it's going to be a good summer, Mark and Maggie. No. And it don't look good. But listen, who knows? You never know. Maybe they'll flip the switch and at least compete a little bit. Make it interesting.
They got to let you in the clubhouse. You know, mask up, whatever the restrictions are. Let you in the clubhouse. Let you get the one-on-one and the pep talk from Nick Turturro. I mean, honestly, why not?
It'd be epic.
Why not?
Absolutely. Take a shot. You know what I mean? Show some courage. What do you got to lose? All I could do is help. If it works one game, you bring me in. It's like a Hollywood movie. You know what I mean?
Nick, we got to go, but you'd be like Tony Bernazard to the Mets minor leaguers years ago, ripping off your shirt.
No, I think
this is how you play baseball.
We need to get all the Yankee celebrity fans together. We got to get Nick, Spike, Paul Simon. You know, you just got to get you guys all together and go in there and be like, guys, we need something. You got to give us a little something.
I'm available. Just call me, man. You know what I mean? I'll do it for free. I don't give a damn. You know what I mean? This
Nick,
isn't about money for me.
We appreciate it, brother.